All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is your girl, your host of the Dope Muslim Woman podcast, Sabria Mills. We are now officially live. MashaAllah. Shout out to each and everybody who is here, both back in studio, as well as my audience members. As you guys come onto the podcast, please drop your salams. Anyone back in studio, it's a great time to kind of log on, share it, or not. I mean, it's up to you, but show some love, drop your salams. This we want to be highly, highly interactive. But welcome to the Dope Muslim Single Experience. This is our official pre-season teaser is what we're calling it. We're not officially in the Dope Muslim Single Experience. That launches in the new year, in January, inshallah. Walaikum salam. Thank you for dropping your salams. We're not officially in the new year yet, or in the new season, but mashallah, we are in the experience where we're giving you a teaser, we're giving you a little taster of some of the things we'll be doing. So if you guys have been following the Dope Muslim Woman podcast for a long time, we do our podcast in the same way we've been doing it for a while, a very structured way. And we're changing that up a little bit into the season. So I'm like, hey guys, how are you guys? Alhamdulillah, it's good to see everybody. Remember, this is going to be really interactive, so we want to make sure that we are interacting. We're talking. I'm going to be talking to you guys. I'm going to be moving a lot. We have quite a few people back in the backstage and studio waiting to, kind of chat and talk with all of you guys. So I'm really excited about this. I am waiting for my super dope but super late co-host, Jermaine. If any of you guys know, put a call out for my brother. But no, he was finishing up a meeting that went a little bit late. But he's coming. He's coming. He's just getting fresh. And that's he's very serious about his wardrobe and attire. But my brother, Jermaine, who, mashallah, is a longtime friend of the show, a personal advisor of mine, good friend to the family here in Detroit with me. Me and his wife is just amazing friends. He also is a podcaster and MC and all those things. And he claims he's a matchmaker, so we're definitely going to put his skills to the test tonight. But he's going to be joining us shortly. So, walaikum salam. I see a lot of you guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? Remember, all right, now's the time to make it clear. So I hope that you guys can see where I posted the link. If you want to be a part of the Dope Muslim Single Experience, we got some dope people waiting to talk to you guys. You can kind of log and just be back in studio. My recommendation is that you come on, your video is off, your audio is off. You just join behind stage in studio. I'll let you know when it's time to kind of pull you on screen. And then you want to just come on video, come on audio, and I'll bring you into the conversation and the dialogue. We're just going to have a really good time. This is about community. This is about connection. This is about love. This is about us experiencing one another, sharing our experience, supporting each other. This is just about the journey. So we're calling this the journey, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. So you guys see the link, share the link, join. Also, disclaimer, like, you do not necessarily just have to be single, because we're talking about just the journey. You could be married or single. We're not, you can be someone who just really wants to share as it relates to this experience and just talk us through. We're going to be talking about these categories that I talked about for a while now, which is the different categories of the singles. And so we'll be discussing that here on the live. But we are definitely revved up. MashaAllah. Looking forward to Alhamdulillah. It's exciting. So I hope you guys are doing okay. So Alhamdulillah, let's drop the categories, okay? So I want you guys to help me out here. So we do have we have 9 categories now of singles, okay? So as I mentioned these numbers, and I know we did a little bit of it on Instagram, if this number relates to you and you are here on the live, okay, please drop the number in the chat. We want to see who's here with us. So please drop the number in the chat. My people backstage can do the same thing. All right, so the first category, number 1, is going to be single, never married, and not interested in being married. Single, never married. So these are typically my folks under 30. Under 30, you've never been married, you're single, and you're not necessarily interested in being married. So that's number one. I want to see if anybody here fits in that category. All right. Number two is I'm single, but I would only marry for a very special person. But only marry or consider marriage. So I'm single. I'm content with my single journey, and I would only change that up if I find someone that is dope enough, that's special enough. So that's number two. Number three is my divorced and loving it, folks. So don't bother me. I'm divorced. I'm loving it. So don't bother me. You're in that category where you are divorced. You've been there. You've done that. You're enjoying this part of your journey, and you don't want to be bothered. So that is for number three. My number four category is single and looking. Okay, so these are those that are single right now, and they are actually looking for companionship, partnership. They wouldn't mind being, hooked up, matchmaked, etc. All right. Our number five would be single, over 30, and in the I'm not settling club. So if you fit that, you're single, you're over 30, and you're not trying to settle. But again, it's not that you're closed off to marriage, but you're just really very specific at this phase in your journey. So we're looking for those in that category. Then we have number six, which is our over 50 and looking, but won't trade my peace for a project. Over 50, looking and won't trade my peace for a project. I also want to add in, thank you, Saudia, for starting it, because I'm like, I don't know why nobody's dropping numbers. Okay. I also want to add in my over 50 and not looking, because I won't trade my peace for a project. Okay. So let's make that number 7. So over 50 and not looking, because I won't trade my peace for a project. Thank you guys for dropping your numbers. I appreciate that. Number 8 is don't bother me unless it's polygyny or plural union. Number 9 is single parent. So you're looking, number 9 would be single parents. This is for all those that, are parenting, they're single. And so in this category, the most important thing is that you are a parent. So you could either be looking or not looking, but the most important thing about those in this category is that their focus is their children. And so whatever it is that they decide, it's really contingent upon their kids. Okay. And then number 10, we'll go to number 10 now. It would be I'm single, but I'm only interested in a non-traditional marriage. So these are those that may want a long distance union or may want to deal with somebody twice a year, but something that's just not traditional, not your typical marriage, but maybe based on their lifestyle, that's all that they can kind of manage. So those are my categories, folks. 6, single, 5, a soft 5. I love it. 9, great. Okay. I need to hear all the numbers first. I dropped most of the numbers. Alhamdulillah, I'm in between 4 and 8. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, mashallah, without further ado. So thank you guys for participating. I do have to bring in my co-host, the official matchmaker of the night. You know what I mean? Fresh. My co-host, mashallah, please welcome, drumroll, Jermaine Carey to the show, mashallah. Hey, my brother.
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Mashallah, I'm great.
Yo, what's up with your background? What's that? What match is that?
That's the old Masjid Al Haq. The original Joy Road, Dexter.
Oh my God.
Represent. You know what I'm saying?
SubhanAllah. I've heard great things. I'm just new here, but I hear a lot about, the original Masjid.
That's the original stumping grounds for a lot of us masjid babies from the 80s and the 90s.
Wow. I'm sure you got stories for days.
You see that little what's that? A little escort in the back? That's the whole hood in one picture.
Right. Oh my God.
Sometimes.
Ooh, Joy Road is no joke, right?
It's a heavy load on that side of town. Yes, it is.
Oh man. Okay, mashallah. All right, Jermaine, how you doing tonight, brother? I appreciate you being here. Okay, alhamdulillah. I'm glad you're here, my brother. So I've been ranting and I've been teasing kind of you since you kind of came on the last live, the do's and don'ts of courtship, because you said you was a matchmaker. So I'm like, was that just for play? Because these people out here are not playing, Jermaine. So are you really a matchmaker, or are you just fooling around?
It's a couple down in Atlanta right now. Everybody loves them, Kareem and Rabia.
So you hook people up for real?
Yeah, I don't hook everybody up. Everybody don't get hooked up. Believe I am not that guy.
All right, what's the criteria to get the?
It's all based off of chemistry and do I like you?
Right. Okay. Cool.
Especially dudes.
So when you say chemistry, so you have to notice that these people might be dope. Like are you picking that up, or what makes you kind of figure out these people will be good together? Like, what are those?
I'm an analyzer. I'm an Aquarius. So I know whoever think that stuff is haram, whatever. We pay attention to everything. So I pay attention to everything. And I I don't like hooking people up just because my name and I truly believe in my reputation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I tell you don't do something and you do it, that's not a hindrance on my reputation. That's because you just hard-headed and you stupid. But if two people I know for a fact they consistently are better than me, then I hook them up.
Right. I do want to speak to this though, like real talk, mashallah, because it's not for joke that you're on. It's not a joke that you're on here, because mashallah, I will definitely say that, and I told Jermaine this, but Jermaine does have a particular gift, and I'm a little keen on picking up gifts in people, but you do have a particular gift with people. You are able to pick up real fast, things that are just beneath the surface of a person. And so I definitely could see you skilled in that area, brother. Definitely.
Yeah, believe me, it's not nothing that I I don't go around trying to hook people up, if that makes sense. I just all right, if I see how they mesh, what type of relation, what type of cases they have with outside of like between each other, how they treat people.
Right.
Do they carry a lot of drama? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to hook up people that I know for a fact that's going to be long term. It's not that many. It's probably less than a handful, but it's enough that I don't know none that's broke up. Shout out to me.
Mashallah, that's good. That's really dope. All right, Jermaine, I want to ask you something for real, because obviously I'm on the sister side a little bit. I hear a lot from the sisters. I talk to a lot of sisters, mashallah, and I get a chance to talk to some of the brothers, but it's real limited, and I don't know if I get a full scope or full lens of it. But I know your eyes, you really. So what's going on the brother side? Is it a good amount of singles, or what's happening? Is it? Are they in hiding? What's up?
They're not really hiding. That's a great question. And the honest answer is, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The thing is, it is more, as you see, it's more sisters who present themselves as available than it is men. Like we just already had this discussion where the brothers flaked out on this particular topic today. Also, when you go to like a lot of singles event, you're gonna see more sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Or some sisters gonna have. No, I'm not gonna go there. But the thing is, that a lot of dudes, like I'm saying, that's why I use that example. Like I don't try to hook a lot of people up because a lot of dudes ain't ready. And I'm not talking about like whoever is ready financially. Like you can be on top of the world one day, the next day you can be at the bottom of the bottom.
You talk about mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even financially. If you somebody who ain't, who like used to hustling take a lot of take a lot of discipline for a woman to be with somebody that's a hustler. Right. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like outside right now, the dudes is really caught up in what and I'm saying my particular environment. Let's say that I
Right.
don't know
Right.
nobody else's environment. You know,
Right.
but even like in the suburbs, the dudes are caught up in what's outside.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? A lot of the sisters are too. And so the thing is about the brothers are more particular about they don't like sisters is they more lenient in choosing brothers. Brothers is kind of you know, they real extremely picky when it comes down to their wives, if that makes sense to the sister. Like I ain't trying to beat the sisters up, you know, they try to attack.
No, I mean it's just you're just speaking facts. Yeah, mashallah. Okay, I appreciate that. I really do. All right, so let's get this started, Jermaine. All right, let's get this started. We're gonna bring on one of our dope singles, and this is going to be a conversation that we're gonna have, and really, honestly, audience is just for you to interact, and inshallah, we'll just have a good time. But this is more so about just acknowledging the journey of being single and kind of some of the things that you're speaking to and many other experiences. I know when I went, you know, through my stint, it was just, I don't know, it was really difficult because you know, when I first gotten married, I was a teenager, so it was just everything was different. Things were different. Social media hadn't really popped off like that yet. Jermaine, you know, you keep going in and out of your little background.
Oh, yeah. And I, you know what I'm saying, I got my other computer died, so I got this little crappy non-Mac, non-Apple.
Okay.
So it's probably, so please forgive me, people that do see my background going in and out, because in my, you know what I'm saying, my house ain't really up to par to be showing y'all my business like that.
Sorry, brother. We got you. So anyway, what I was saying is that it was just a huge shift. And I found it very daunting and confusing. And I just didn't know what was going on. And so I just want to talk about the journey. I, you know, fare too well. I couldn't stay out there in the streets that long, Jermaine. But
believe me, I know, player.
I mean, it was just all right, we're not doing this. We're not bringing nothing personal into the all right, anyway, let's get our first single up here. MashaAllah. Let's bring up Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for your patience. I appreciate
Hello.
you.
Hi. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry.
I'm my co-host, okay? All right, tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Zainab. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been here for about 7 years, but I'm originally from Queens, New York.
Queens.
Okay, New York, Northeast in the building, right?
Yeah.
How do you find the transition from Northeast to the South?
Initially, it was very, very difficult because New York is very fast paced, and here it's not as fast paced. But now I can't go back to New York. I love Georgia now.
Yeah, I feel you, because like being originally from like Philly, Jersey area, then going down to being in Atlanta for 16 years. Now I'm back in the North, and I'm like, yo, I need to like it's difficult.
Long as you got your fur coat, you're gonna be just fine.
Brother, you need more than a fur coat up in here in Michigan. You know that's a
whole lot. Long as you got your fur coat and your matching scarf and your boots, you're gonna be just fine.
I'm barely making it. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's get into it, Zainab. So you heard me drop some of the like categories. Did any of those categories speak out to you? Like which one you fall in? Or
I would say I would fall into a 2 and a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'm okay. I'm okay right now. So it would really have to take someone in order to get me out of my comfort zone, because I'm really comfortable right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I feel you on that. So that's the single but only married for a special one, or single over 30 but not settling.
I don't want to say settling. Like, I'm big on compromising, and like we can work together.
Right.
But again, it would have to be something where it's like me getting out of that comfort zone, because I'm super comfortable.
Right.
So what is your comfort zone?
I'm okay. Like, I don't have like the desire to jump back in that pool right now. I've been divorced for about a year now, so I don't have that desire just yet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So that means you ain't ready to move on yet.
What? She didn't say that.
No, come on, man. We're gonna keep it a buck. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm definitely
It's okay.
moved on. I'm just not ready to jump back.
Zainab, you know the men always think if we're
It's
not with
okay.
somebody new, hold on. They always think if we're not with somebody new, that means we still stuck on old, and that's not true.
Absolutely
That is
not.
so
No,
not
I
true.
wasn't even insinuating that. I'm just saying you preparing yourself for the preparations that leads to whoever next.
Oh, okay. You said move on.
I mean, she ain't ready. She ain't ready to get out her comfort zone. Sometimes when you look at, I'm telling you, when you look at, you gotta get out your comfort zone. Sabrina, don't act like you. You gotta get out. You have to, like in this, like after divorce, sometime too. You gotta try something new.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So, let me ask you this. So when you say you really enjoyed the comfort zone, let's talk a little bit about that journey. Like when just post-divorce, like what are some of the things that just as a Muslim woman, like how do you navigate that phase? What are some ways to navigate it? Navigate it? Is it challenging?
For me personally, just post-divorce, I went through a series of changes.
Yeah, of course.
So I think just post-divorce, I think I was in denial because I knew that like work needed to be done in terms of like myself, but I was just like avoiding it. So I went through that phase, and then when I started the work, there was these different there were different phases. So I started doing the work, and then I went through this woe is me phase. And then after I got over that phase, I went through a realization of, oh, wait, I got some stuff that I need to figure out for myself and work on with myself. I can't, we tend to like, if we get out of something that was bad, we tend to be able to pinpoint exactly what that person did, and we shift the blame to that person, and we don't recognize what we, the role that we played in. So once I got to that, then I was able to, gradually do the work for myself, and just getting back to understanding what I like, what I don't like, what I want, what I don't want. I'm discovering new things, and I'm comfortable right now.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable.
I can imagine. Jay, you got something you want to ask?
No, I mean, I kind of hear this a lot.
Yeah, especially from women, right?
Yeah, that's and it's one thing. I know a lot of aunties that had that narrative for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not even lying either. I know some. So in the process, let's say, of this last situation, right? That in the process of you exhaling, right? You exhaling. What have you learned about yourself, the do's and the don'ts that you? Because sometimes you say that we are what you attracted, but nobody knows that. So the thing about it is that what is it about yourself now that you recognize that's something there for your next situation? Because inshallah, it's going to be a next situation that you will be willing to, that you're going to improve on before stepping into that next realm of bliss.
Take my time. I'm just not rushing. Take my time. Really, really getting to know that person. Of course, within the limits, legislated, in Islam.
Gotta say that now. You gotta say that.
But just really, really, like, it's okay to just take your time and not rush. I feel like within our community, marriage is treated like this revolving door. It's just marriage after marriage after marriage, and people are not taking their time. They're not. So.
Okay, so another question: who are you attracted to?
Well, you can answer only if you're comfortable.
No, I know that. Not don't tell me his name, and you ain't got to tag him.
No,
I mean, like.
What qualities? What qualities?
Flavor, like? You know what I'm saying? You're like, you now, right? You said you went through what you went through. You in this process, and you growing. So who do you like now? Like, and without giving a rundown of the most beautiful the Black Fabio, like who is it that like you know that you need right now? When it happens.
See, now I have to think because I was in a space where I wasn't even thinking, you know.
And that's kind of the best space to be in.
Yeah. So now, I mean, for me, first, religion is very, very, very important to me. The religion is someone who practices and someone who is open-minded and understanding and kind and compassionate. Who has there has to be like a compatibility, you know, between this person and I think compatibility is very, very important. But again, I'm not in that space right now, so
I love it. I love it. I love that you're owning exactly where you are. And one thing I love that you're kind of like even not backing down from it, because sometimes when people are single and they're in this space, especially if you're on the younger side, people try to push you like, well, no, I know you want to get married. No, you want to get married. And sometimes people just aren't there. Like that's not where they're at in their journey. And so that's where you are. And I know there's so many women here are just like, I'm right where you are. So inshallah, I appreciate you, Zainab. I appreciate you for sharing. If there's one piece of advice you can give to other people who are where you are in your journey, it would be what?
I would basically just focus on your journey and understand that what you're going through, it doesn't look like what someone else is going through. I think it's very, very personal in a sense that it's very specific to your needs, your experiences, your expectations, and just, you know, stay focused.
Embrace it, right? Embrace it. Well, Zainab, you know I love you with all of my heart. Thank you so much for coming on.
You fly though. Somebody gonna come. They're gonna come. They coming at you.
So they already watching. Like,
yeah, they on your head, Zainab. And you got the Bluetooth. Zainab on fire right now.
Sorry, excuse my co-host, Zainab. All right, I love you, Zainab. I'll see you next Oh my God, Jamil. You know these sisters is shy. Okay, mashallah, subhanallah. But you know what? I love that. It's interesting. I love that. Now you see that, Jermaine. Now you see where women are like unapologetic about like, nah, I'm working on myself. I'm cool. I'm not like. That's kind of the error now. I mean,
it's the error, but it's also because it's very consistent across the board from a lot of people who have been in previous relationships.
Yeah,
especially women.
Yep.
Which is it's good and it's not good, if you understand what I'm saying, because sometimes that comfortability turns to a lot like just a genuine thing for me. Like it never changes. So even so, it kind of the comfortability becomes a barrier, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get what you mean.
It become a barrier, and then sometimes it can like even if you are like open to something, it can be you probably don't pick up on certain languages from the other end because you know you so stuck at a place where you don't want to basically have the chance to be hurt.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. I think what you're saying is that this space is a really good space to be in, especially as you're evolving, like out of, you know, a situation and you're kind of in a space where you're like, you know, discovering you and just being kind of content with developing yourself and in that space. But then it's like, as you know, we should be constantly moving on our journey. Right. And so, you know, for some people, they never want to be married again. That's okay. But I always say, like, make sure it's, like you said, it's not from that place of, like, fear or, like, you got so stuck. And I know a lot of brothers in this space, too, especially if they stay single too long.
Right.
It's just difficult to transition out of that.
It is. And then when you stay, so the thing is this, you know, especially the Muslim circles, it ain't really that, you know, people don't really keep it real in Muslim circles. You already know how it is. So it's a lot of dating. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of having sex outside of marriage.
You know, and most majority of us is not exempt from it. You know, from both sides, sisters and women, sisters and brothers.
100%.
And that's a point where, and I'm not talking about trying to mesh the words up with Zaynab. I really genuinely believe that I'm talking about like a more so in a space where when you're really outside and you see how things going outside, everybody outside. You know what I'm saying? So
especially our young people.
Especially everybody.
But Jermaine, let me pull in my next person because we got quite a few. So let me pull in my next guest. Here we go. Hey, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam warahmatullah.
Yeah, Maria.
How are you?
This is Aisha. I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, so this is Aisha. Tell us where you're from, Aisha.
I'm from Metro Detroit. Jermaine knows me also.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm terrible with name. I'm sorry I messed your name up. Oops.
That's okay. That's my daughter. Mariama's my daughter.
Oh, oops again.
I wanted to add this. I'm gonna add this comment for you, Jermaine. We're gonna think about it later, but let's get to Aisha. Okay,
right.
You see it, right? You got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, okay. All right, Aisha. So we listed our categories. Have you identified where you fall?
Yep, I fall into about 4 of them. So okay. I picked 2, 4, 5, and 8.
Okay, cool. So great. So mashallah, so that has you. So you definitely you're single. You're open to marriage. It sounds like definitely want a good person. Parenting is important. So okay, I'm hearing all those things. That's great. Okay, alhamdulillah. That's dope. So tell me, what do you find to be the most challenging part of being single, and what do you find to be the most beneficial part about being single?
The most challenging, I think, would be feeling like I have a lack of stability. I feel like in marriage, I felt stable. I didn't have to worry about finances or I didn't feel like I had to worry about the future. And, I worked, but I felt like if I didn't work, I could everything would still be covered if I didn't work. So definitely those stresses of, being a single parent and not having that partner to lean on, that's definitely the biggest challenge for me. And then positive, I mean, I enjoy, having my independence to a degree. And, I like being able to go hang out at my friend's house and, not have to worry about, not being out for 5 hours or, something like that.
Margaret.
That's nice, I know. Just doing what you need to do.
Right.
Definitely.
Margaret.
Cool. Go ahead, Jay.
No, so you like hanging out past Margaret is what you're trying to say?
I mean, sometimes, but I'll be, I'll be in a halal place. I won't be out in a club or anything like that.
So that's the theme now. Everybody's want to hang out past Margaret.
I'm not dealing with you. We're trying to be serious over here.
Okay. So I mean that go back to coincide like with was it Zaynab? Was she?
It goes back to what?
Right. It's kind of the same thing.
What?
Space and comfortability and not nobody on their head and everything that comes with marriage.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, Jermaine. So tell me this. So when you're in this phase now, like you're raising your daughter, obviously you're divorced. Being single, like we talked about, does have that level of comfort where it's like you kind of get to create your own life, right? Now, is it really about like not having somebody on your head, or because I'm trying to? What is it really about? What's the real joy there?
I think that is part of it. Is not having to worry about how certain things will affect my partner. So that definitely is part of it for me.
Yeah. See, Jermaine so said, brothers don't.
You're right, exactly.
SubhanAllah. All right. So tell us a little bit about what I know you said you are looking. So what would a suitable partner look like for you?
Definitely a brother that's on his deen. So definitely a good Muslim. I definitely would like a good leader in the home for myself and for my daughter. And it would need to be a brother who is open to being a stepfather and who would be a good father figure also for my daughter, and someone who is who can support a family. Someone,
So someone not broke. Got to be able to. You doing 50-50 or you need?
No.
Okay, you just need to ask.
I'm not interested in 50-50. I don't mind helping out when necessary, but I'm not interested in 50-50.
What about 85-15?
I mean, I could, but it should be it should be my choice. It shouldn't be because I have to.
Got it.
So how old are the kids now?
I just have one daughter. She's 12.
Okay, so she older. Whew, man. Yeah, having a daughter is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially how these, like, as a man and a wali.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough task because it's some nuts out here. So
yeah, man.
So you have a wali, an actual wali?
Yes.
You like him?
Yeah.
Is he your papa?
No, my dad's not Muslim.
Oh, subhanallah. So you trust your wali?
Yeah.
You communicate often?
Not often. I'm actually, when I'm talking to somebody, then I would, try to get him involved. But as of right now, I'm not talking to anybody.
So you're not talking to anybody. Okay. So have anybody been serious enough to contact your wali?
Someone has asked for his information, but I didn't. Well, actually, no, there was one brother that did talk to my wali. Yeah.
But you weren't.
We did talk together. We had like a Zoom kind of thing. And so he did talk to my wali on Zoom.
Well, this is what I want to know, Aisha. Thank you, Jermaine. Let me chime in for a second. Since we talked about wali, are you finding that a lot of brothers are wanting to go the wali route, or they
I mean, some brothers do ask. Some brothers do ask to speak, to my wali, but some of them don't ask right away.
That's a fact.
So it depends.
So knowing that you got a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a viber or energy person, or are you willing to just have anybody not talk to anybody? That sounds whack. But you know what I mean? Like, you kind of open to conversation and building with people, or do you like, nah, you feel you as a vibe, like, I'm straight?
I mean, I guess it depends on the vibe. If it's a negative vibe, then I'm definitely not going to pursue that. Or if I get the sense that the brother is too interested in my daughter, then that's a red flag for me.
Lord, please. Oh God. Okay. I hope that has never happened. SubhanAllah. I hope that has never happened. Okay. So tell me, I want you to, from your lens, in this sort of like these categories that you fit, what are some of the challenges though with finding a brother nowadays? Because I'm hearing that there's some very real challenges. What's really going on out here in these streets?
I mean, for me, I think the biggest challenge is, just being able to meet a brother somewhere, because in the masajid, we can barely even see the brothers. So it's like, how can we really meet a brother in the masjid? And then my family's not Muslim. My family's not trying to hook me up with anybody, and I don't have anybody introducing me to any brothers. And so that's definitely, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So what if somebody try to hook you up with their husband?
I'm not interested in polygyny though.
She did not say the cat. No, hold on.
That's a good question.
We're gonna get him straight real quick. She didn't say the category. The category that I mentioned was.
I missed that number. I missed the number.
What number did I say? Do you remember? Because some of my numbers are off. I think I said.
I know I said 2, 4, 5, and 8. Those are my categories.
I missed the numbers game. I wasn't here for the criteria.
I thought, is it 7 or 8? Okay, anyway. But the point is that I think polygyny is 7. On my list is 7, but I know I had added one in. But the point is that Jermaine, she ain't mentioned that.
I mean, I said I missed the earlier part of the, numbers game. Right. So I'm sorry. So what's number? So polygyny is number 7.
Yeah. So if they say 7, we can ask about it. Otherwise,
okay. Who's gonna say 7 on here? Well, they scared they're gonna get attacked. Thinking somebody want their man.
All right, Jermaine, we're behaving. All right, Aisha.
Inshallah. Aisha, if I know somebody, because I do like you, So if I know
thank you.
somebody, I
Yeah.
throw him. I throw him to your who your Wale?
It's my friend's husband.
I know him.
Yeah, you probably know him.
Jermaine, you know
Probably,
everybody in Detroit.
yeah.
I don't know why you're asking that. Aisha,
Probably,
you
yeah.
Aisha, can I just say, I have to say this real quick, Jermaine, because you don't know. So the whole reason why we're doing the Dope Muslim Single Experience is because of Aisha. Aisha is a beloved friend of mine. She has a heart of she has this golden, beautiful, amazing heart. She's welcomed me so much in Detroit since I moved here, and she was the one that just fed life into me. I was feeling really dead on the Dope Muslim Woman, and she just fed life into me. So I love you so much, Aisha.
Just like life here. I love you.
You know, you're my first number one priority on this joint. Okay.
Just like life here.
How long has it been, Aisha?
How long I've been divorced?
Yeah.
4 years.
Okay.
Oh, for real? Oh man. Okay, it's time then.
Yeah.
We on the hunt. We on the hunt for Aisha.
You on it?
We on the hunt for Aisha.
He's a matchmaker. So
Yeah, I'll hook Aisha. When they got a good reputation, I'm gonna try to find somebody to match that.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay, Sakina, I think that's really good advice when you said put the numbers and categories up. I don't have time to do that. I wish I had an assistant on staff. Inshallah, we're gonna get Malika. I saw her. Malika need to be back with us, inshallah. But I don't have time. I don't have the time to put in the categories, but I'll try to reiterate them. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time. Love you, sis. I'm supposed to take you off the screen. Yeah. All right, mashallah. Well, that's a beautiful sister right there. Bro.
Yeah,
that's somebody that, you want to go hard for.
So somebody said the Walees need to be paid. Let me tell you how true that is.
But come on, that's not the dean. We're not making stuff up. Is that a part of now we need to be paid?
Is it haram?
I'm gonna ask that bad shake up the point because I don't
ask AK. Is it haram?
I wish she was here because I don't think
y'all because let me tell you some story. Y'all are some
who's y'all?
Generalize. I'm generalizing. A massive amount of sisters have caused some brothers some headaches.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Sisters, sometimes you tell them when you give every hint in the world, say, do not marry that brother. Don't do it. He is not good for you. And then nefs overtake everything. And the next thing you know, domestic violence, like there was already told about. That happened. I know for a fact that happened. Or you just I'm not telling they just don't like him. And after the nefs come down, they don't like him no more. It happens all of the time. So that's why I say with a Wale, the relationship with a Wale where he got to know what if he know what's going on, it's better for the sister. And not just saying to make it the brother just be all of them being henchmen, but I mean that's better for her that she won't be fine to be with somebody where she just ain't gonna like in 3 months.
I feel you on that. I feel you. One second, Jermaine. So I do hear feedback that the sound is skipping. Sometimes that happens when we talk over each other and we're kind of bantering a bit. So we'll try to be mindful. Let us know if the sound is still skipping, and we'll try to be mindful not to speak at the same time because that's when it happens. But no, honestly, Jermaine, I will have to say this. You are right. There is a lot of truth to it. I know you're talking from a direct experience type of thing, but I can just tell you as someone who's navigated this, and my Wale is my pops. That's my whole dad. I can't even debate about it, right? But there's been times I have not listened to his advice and has really bit me in the behind. Mm-hmm. But there's been times. So you are right where, there's some, there are some situations the Wale is there, but we don't be listening.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that every Wale is out for the. It depends on sometimes, especially if they're not their father. Sometimes you heard stories. Some of these Wale's try to get on, so you got to be
for sure.
You got to be mindful of that.
Right. You're a little bit frozen, Jermaine. You're a little bit frozen your screen, but no, you're back.
This computer.
All right, so let's go to our next single. Mashallah. She is here. We're gonna bring her on the screen and introduce her. All right. Naima, that's you. So I'm gonna say your names now since you guys are kind of impromptu, but Naima, I'm bringing you on, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Islam.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, alhamdulillah. Jermaine, this is Naima.
Assalamu alaikum, Naima. How you doing?
Walaikum salam. Good.
Naima, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Philadelphia.
All right. Yes, Philly in the house for real. Mashallah. It's good that we got, cleaned up this Detroit thing that we got going on. Mashallah. Bringing it back to my hometown. Alhamdulillah. All right. So Naima, which category did you identify with?
5.
5. So that's single over 30, but in the I'm not settling club.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think not settling in, like Zainab, she mentioned, like, it's not really settling. It's just being more choosy for yourself. You gotta, you can't just be like, oh, mashallah, it'll be, whatever Allah wills, it'll work itself out. You can't do that. Not anymore.
Absolutely. Gotta be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Jay.
I mean, I'm just trying to fill out.
Okay, you're not ready yet.
Fill it out, yeah.
All right. So talk to us, Naima. So tell us a little bit about this journey that you're in right now. So, I know you mentioned you're post 30. So what's this single space you're in? Are you loving it? Is it challenging? Like, what's the highs and lows?
Well, I would say I like it. Like, at first I didn't like it because, like, I got divorced right around the time my kids went to college. So I'm like an empty nester along with being divorced. So I'm like home alone. I guess I shouldn't say that. But I'm like alone most of the time. So that really, it gives me a lot of isolation. So it was a little uncomfortable, but now I'm accepting it and really trying to use the time wisely, and get into all types of, wellness, mental understandings of myself. So I'm really spending the time with that, since I have all this space of time, I feel, to do that.
That's good. It was interesting. Someone just asked where are the empty nesters. So mashallah, like that's a really intriguing stage to be in. So what's kind of I'm wondering what are some of the experiences you've had as it relates to potential folks? Is it really rough out there in the stage that you're in to find like suitable matches or compatible folks? Is it hard to meet people?
I actually haven't started meeting anybody, like trying to meet anyone. And I was just having this conversation with somebody, and I was like, people don't come up to me. I'm like, do I have a certain type of face where they like, don't bother her, she's like unapproachable? But I guess I just just keep it moving. I'm going to where I'm going, and I'm focused on that. I'm not like looking around, just smiling unnecessarily. But
yeah, I
do feel that I can't say that I'm like looking, but I'm not blocking it. And so I can't really speak to how it is out there, how good it is, is it dried up? I mean, I don't know.
Pause. Say pause after that. Now it could be the Philly. It could be Philly though.
I definitely think that.
It's Philly. I'm gonna keep it a whole. Don't want to keep it a whole stack. A whole stack.
Wait a minute, Naima. Don't. We're not co-signing yet. What you mean, Jermaine? What's you talking about?
It's the Philly.
What you trying to say?
Philly. The thing about Philly got a mystique on them. I mean, everybody got a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Every community got a stereotype. Philly got a tough stereotype when it comes to sisters. One thing, and now Philly got some beautiful sisters, really beautiful sisters, but they got a mystique. Like brothers be scared, terrified of Philly sisters. Now she don't. I'm not saying she giving that terrifying or Philly aura of sisters.
No,
but you know what I'm saying? Maybe maybe they probably is, and somebody probably somewhere hating. Maybe you got a hater out here. That's a dude.
No. Are you talking about why people aren't approaching? But honestly, now I don't think guys don't really approach. Do they still? They don't really approach.
I approach my wife. I'm approaching.
It's certain type of dudes. Like when I was single, I think the only person that came like straight up to me is my husband. Like he was the only one that came. I mean, obviously he came through my father, but I mean, he was like the only one that was like bold. That doesn't really happen nowadays.
I don't know. I mean, it should. You know what I'm saying? I tell cats all. But you know what? Though, I'm gonna keep it a lot of people, a lot of brothers are getting real bad advice. And so, and then you got to think about like the whole mix, the whole sisters over here, brothers over here thing. So a lot of people are teaching, like a lot of Muslim brothers, now they can communicate also absolutely great with non-Muslims, but it's like a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters for the most part do not have social, like a lot of, especially like don't have like good social skills amongst one another. So it'd be real corny. You know what I'm saying? And so it'd be super duper corny. I'd be watching it all the time, like, no, man, our sister over there, but go say something to her. Well, add to our people is.
Yeah.
Add to our people is to our Wali. So you know what I'm saying? Like, or who are her homegirls or something like that. Like if you like somebody, say it. I don't adhere to the you know what I'm saying, don't talk to sisters day, because sisters are cool. You know, so
And one sister said that her experience now is that brothers want to be pursued. You know, that's just they're you know, now it's kind of flipped. But Naeem, I wanted to kind of get back to you really quickly. What would be some qualities that you would find in a brother that would really be appealing at this phase in your life?
I definitely want somebody who's intelligent and intellectual, because I like that type of conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, religious, but with integrity. Because if you say, oh, you know, he's religious, people are like, oh yeah, he prays, he does this, but does he have the integrity that, you know, the Muslims should have, as far as, you know, just being the best of himself and not just doing, you know, saying, well, this is haram, this is halal. Like, no, just be the best, you know, the best, like however that should be. And definitely I think I would like him to be in some type of not that he has to have a therapist, but that he's working on himself. Because I think by this age, you know, because I'm in my early 40s, and I think by this time you pretty much realize that if there were some things going on in your life, you hadn't done it all, you know, correctly, and you want to try to change it for the better. So if someone is just like still saying, oh, you know, I'm great, there's nothing wrong with me, I don't make any mistakes, I don't have any flaws, I think that would be a red flag. I would probably not like that. Like, I think if I sat down with someone, that would be a question that I would ask them. Like, have you ever gone to any type of therapy or a life coach, anyone to like help you to figure yourself out more clearly? And they're just like, no, I'm great. You know,
I don't want to cut it short though, but I think we probably got something going on in these comments.
I knew I was gonna bring it up. Wait.
I told you, Jermaine gonna break them out. First,
I was going to say it gently. I was going to ask her first if she had a Wali. Are you going to go right to it?
Yeah, I'm her Wali today.
No, you're not. She has
yeah, my brother would definitely step on you for that.
15 minutes. For 15 minutes, I'm your Wali. Yeah, so he saw. I mean, so we got something going on. We got to throw a little line out there.
Okay, there's a brother that asked what's your Wali, but you know, we could do that offline. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just letting you know, Naima, what's up?
See, somebody approach it. That came from Coach Fresh. You walk them up.
No, mashallah. But right, it is. But okay, so you do have a Wali, it's your brother, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my father's passed away, so he's my full brother. So sometimes people be like, "Well, I just went to a marriage lecture on a weekend, and they were just like, oh, he has to be from your father's side." And I was just like, okay, so, you know, in order to be valid. So anyway, so I was just putting that out there.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Well, mashallah, you are a beautiful person inside and out. And I do want to just say my plug, because I know Alima put it out there, but you know, because we're from the same city, I've known Naima since I was a little girl, and she was, you know, she's, you know, slightly older. I don't even know, maybe slightly. But she was somebody I always looked up to, mashallah, and just a beautiful person inside and out. And, you know, it's beautiful when you can say that when people are young all the way up to, you know, in adulthood. They're just a beautiful person. So, mashallah, I definitely appreciate you being here. Are you open to, like, people just putting their interests out there? Or are you kind of in a phase of not looking? I don't know if it's on the spot, but.
I really, like, I'm in a phase of, it has to be really a good situation for me to want to do anything, because like I said, it's only been like a year, and I'm not like sweating for anybody, but it's just, even if it's been longer, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it still needs to be the type of person that really fits the bill, because I mean, I don't want to just get married to get divorced. That's not cool. So if it doesn't check the boxes,
You good.
I'll just accept a nice dinner and go
She
on my
got a
life.
good aura on her though. A lot of people with good aura is not that hard to. It's not that hard to
You
match
good
up.
energy.
Yeah, it's not really like, it's not like stereotypical Philly. It's really kind of Detroitish.
Whoa. What part of Detroit? What part of Detroit?
The East Side, because that's where we raised the East Side, because that's the best part of the human existence came from the East Side of Detroit.
I was gonna say she reminds me more of like a Southern belle. She has an energy of like from the South. I would say that, not Detroit, mashallah.
East Side of Detroit. It's kind of, they call that the country. But yeah, she got a good aura, so inshallah, it's gonna be easy for her.
Yeah, Jermaine is really good at reading people, and mashallah, he called it right. You have very good energy, mashallah. So thank you so much, Naima, for being on the show. I think you have so many comments on your side.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. Love you much. Assalamu alaikum. Mashallah, subhanallah, yeah. It's just, mashallah, this subhanallah, it's so many beautiful people out there, Jermaine. That's why I don't want anybody to ever, lose hope.
That's the thing though too. Like when I said as far as stepping out the box, like even from my own personal experience, like sometimes even we both can relate to stepping outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Like you never and then the thing about it that they end up being the most stable situation that you possibly ever experienced when you went outside of something that was unnormal.
Outside of your comfort zone.
You know what I'm saying? And I encourage anyone like that's like sometimes it can be somebody from outside of your cultural experience, somebody from a different city, you know what I'm saying? Somebody younger, somebody older. It depends on who you are. You know what I'm saying, and what you can deal with. But you have to be open to love. Like one thing we really have to express in these conversations is love have to be expressed, because everything would be the technical rhetoric and jargon, but we missing out the point of love and having a loving heart. No matter where you're from, you're not going to be open to that type of situation that you think you need. You're going to be closed off, or you're going to be closed off to what you actually need. And we need true love, like real sincere love.
I love that you said that, Jermaine, and I think it ties in because, Malika, she put this, she said, the question is, where are we meeting these people? Meeting men isn't the problem. It's finding the Muslim ones. It's finding the Muslim ones. But I do think you bring up a good point, which is like that really human quality when it comes to even getting into an intimate relationship or thinking about a life partner. Like if love isn't a big part of it, like what are we doing? And I think sometimes we get, like you said, really technical, and it becomes this and that. It becomes so cold.
Right.
Like who wants to sign up for that? And it's a huge turnoff, right? It's, I don't know. What do you have to say about that? Is it hard to just, are us as Muslims, is it just a challenge?
I think the thing about it is that, again, I always use my own experience, and I'm very, I'm a Black American, so I'm always I don't really try to intertwine with nobody else's cultural experience, but I do undersee where once certain cultural aspects are introduced to us, it put up a big barrier of communication where a lot of community brothers in certain communities, I didn't see that growing up. Like I've been around all type of Muslims, and I been around the church, so I didn't see that growing up until I get into certain communities where the men was just so rugged on women. You know what I'm saying? And they had them in the most dire situations. Yeah, I do understand why those sisters is hard. A lot of those older women are extremely bitter. I mean, even though they put on, they could have made decisions that wouldn't put them in that situation, but at the same time,
it was crazy.
Hardness is never a good thing in love. Like
right.
they can't coincide with each other, because it's only going to keep producing ugliness and dark-hearted people, even though they want to love and be it. Like you want your men masculine with good masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? You want your sisters with good feminine energy. That is the core of the community.
But
You know
let's
what
make
I'm
sure
saying?
that it's healthy. Let's make sure that
Yeah,
whatever
healthy.
it is.
Like that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Healthy, masculine, not macho and being cowboys and stuff like that. I mean, like
Right.
just being
Yeah.
like you can be a lover and a head buster. You can do that. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like you really can be out here really out here, and people respect you for who you are, and still have a loving type of energy. And I had to learn that myself because I took on, like, I didn't learn that until I got around different type of you know what I'm saying, different communities of people with hardness, and I took on some of those traits, and it's taken me a long time to peel off some of that hardness, because you can't, like, I love my kids, I kiss my kids, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, you know, I was in some environments where that keep me bitter, you know what I'm saying, that keep me ugly and harsh. So I think that we have to, you know, I don't want to, like, give the cookball, but I think we really gotta find a way to express, like, if we don't know how to say it, it got to be expressed, and it got to be genuine, and we have to really distinguish ourselves from the lovers and those in the dark, and a lot of our mosques is full of darkness, because a lot of times that's what's getting preached.
It is. That's a whole nother tangent, but I appreciate that. And I think the audience appreciates that. Samaya, are you ready? Samaya or Samaya? If you're ready, come on screen, please. Leisha, are you ready?
What are broskies at? I seen a couple of them in there. What
it was a couple, and they like, you know, sometimes, you know, some of them left. Some of them did left. All right. Khadija, I'm gonna come to you, love. All right, let's go. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Hey, love, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Khadija, tell us where you're from.
I am originally from Ohio, and I've been in Michigan for 6 years now.
The D is strong tonight, Jermaine.
That's how we get down. We always represent.
MashaAllah. The love is real for the Domus woman in Detroit, though. I've learned that. But how you doing tonight, Khadija?
I'm doing good.
Good. Any thoughts about the conversation so far?
Oh my gosh, I have so many comments. Like when Jermaine was talking about how the masjids are and like the communication between men and women. Let me tell you something. I grew up in a very small town, like very small Muslim community. And as soon as you hit puberty, or even before puberty, that's it. You don't give salam to the brothers. Like, you gotta look at the floor, look at your feet. Like, so I'm very awkward around men. Let me just put that out there, because I'm just like, I was raised in such a strict way that, like, when I moved to Michigan and like brothers would give salams, I'm like, can you do that here?
Right.
What is this? It's a whole new world, and it's like, but I'm still very awkward. But it makes it very hard to find a mate when you don't even know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, how are we gonna have a conversation if I gotta look at the floor and I can't? You know, I need to be able to read your body language. I need to, you know, and there's that separation just made it hard for us to even understand each other. Honestly,
yeah,
it's like, it's a mess.
Yeah, man. I totally get it. What category do you fall in, love?
A few. So I'm a single mom. I'm divorced. Okay. And there was, I think, so that was 5 and 9, I think. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the other one was.
Okay. So single mom, divorced. All right, Jay, you still filling out? You still getting a feel?
Yeah, I'm just programming, getting my programs together. You know what I'm saying? My spark plug.
All right, got you. So Khadija, where are you at on your single journey? Are you kind of like in a stage of like loving being single, really comfortable? Are you?
Well, I've been divorced for a year, but I was 30 before I got married the first time, so I'm used to being single.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to get married and be married. I've always wanted that. No matter how many raggedy relationships I've seen, and the one I was in, I've always wanted it. And that desire has never gone away. So like if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm always going to be open to marriage.
It's
With the
a,
right person, of course. You know.
so it's a common theme so far. Well, outside of the 4 years for who was that? Aisha. I did not even know that. But it's been like a year, right? For everybody, like the majority been like a year. So the pandemic was been a hater or something. Was the pandemic like the great exposure or something like that? What's going on with this last 12 to 18 months? These last 12 been I know some beautiful situations that have been just disgusted quick.
Oh,
So
during the quarantine?
Yeah, what happened within this last year or two? I'm pretty sure it probably started within the pandemic area, like where it's
Well,
just
people got found out during the pandemic. It was interesting. I was talking to someone and they were speaking, and I'm going to try to be as vague as possible because I didn't get permission to share the story, but they were speaking about someone that has a particular job. And with their job, they have to fix things. And during the pandemic, they had to fix so many possessions of the guys because they were being destroyed by the women because they were like finding out that they were cheating on them. Like before the pandemic, when people can be moving around and stuff like that, it was easier to hide it. During the pandemic, people's infidelities kind of came to the surface. Like it kind of became more overt, or more obvious because you kind of stuck in one place. So a lot of this person who was responsible for fixing things had to fix a lot of items during the pandemic. So I think people got exposed during the pandemic.
they got exposed, and it could have been a situation where people kind of figured they don't like each other.
What do you think? What do you think it was?
Well, for my particular experience, it wasn't the pandemic; it was the person. I mean, I was only married for 2 years, though. I got married like right before the pandemic. So I got married in November of 2019, and then by March of 2020, that was it. So I can't blame the pandemic. I wish I could, but I can't.
So I got a question. What was it that attracted you to him, to marry him, that you after such a long time that you was?
That's a good question. No, listen, it's a good question because first of all, I was 30, and not that I felt like I was old and I needed to get married.
In Muslim. That's like 5,900.
But it was. Let me tell you the exact reason why I went ahead and went for it. Okay, there was a couple of reasons, but the main one was because, well, I met him on an app. Will not do that again. Learn my lesson. Okay, but all the other men that I had talked to on the app were not okay with my life. So, a little background: I live with my sister. I've been helping her raise her kids for the last 4 years. So, I was like telling these guys, like, listen, I'm interested in getting married, but as of right now, I can't move in with you. I have responsibilities to my family right now, but I would love to, talk and hopefully, get married. We can do a little halal dating where we're both we got our nikah and we can talk and stuff. Everybody was like, no. So this guy was the only one who was like, okay, that's cool. So yeah, that was the main thing.
So that was the main thing. Like it fit your lifestyle.
Yes, he was the only one okay with it, but let's not go down that road. But yes.
Yeah. SubhanAllah. So what are you looking for now?
Mental stability.
Have fun.
That's a whole word.
Yes. Right? I would love somebody who has integrity, a good sense of Islam, and not an extremist or anything, but a good understanding of community and family. Someone who is okay with the fact that I have a kid. So, and someone who's actually willing to fully step into that role. And I know a lot of guys aren't going to do it. A lot of men are not okay with really stepping in, but whoever I marry has to be willing to really step in as a father figure. Because right now my son does not have one.
How old is the baby?
He's 2. He just turned 2 a couple days ago.
And how was it? This question is that Waleed's one. And what is the relationship with the father?
What relationship?
Oh, see, she says she needs a father figure because that's a
Okay.
so she's
Ouch.
so that's an important part of what you're looking for.
Yeah, you gotta you have to ask these questions because sometimes, and as you never know, sometimes as
he's not around, he's not involved at all.
He'll pop up when you about to get you a new thing.
He ain't gonna know, but I mean, if he does, then I guess we'll handle it. But
two is new. You know what I'm saying? Two is new. And
Cut it
two is
out.
new, and then that's time that you still my boo. You know what I'm saying? So
oh my god,
They do
how
find a way to pop up when the minute you get married. But okay.
I still love you, baby.
All right. So tell us a little bit, like, what would be the age range you would look for?
I guess 30 to 40.
Okay.
That sounds so old, but I guess I'm that old now. Yeah, 30 to 40.
That's a good range. I think that's a good range. Okay, just African American, or are you open?
I'm open.
Yeah, I'll have to say, as women, you have to be open.
No,
You have to be open.
no.
Excuse me?
Get you a brother.
You have to be open, sister.
Get you a brother.
I'm
first.
open. I'm
Yeah,
open.
yeah, because that, that shit, you can't put everything in that shit. It just
You
can't.
said that what? What you say?
You can't put everything in that one shit. I don't think
Oh, okay.
that's
My bad.
the vast amount of Black Muslim women who are single. I don't think
Get
they
you a brother. Always go for what you know. And then if that don't happen, then you grow.
You just said though, sometimes you gotta step outside.
I said that. That's what I'm saying. But sometimes you have to, but sometimes you don't need to.
Okay, but go with
life
what
is a
you
big
know.
contradiction. Life is a big contradiction.
But go with what you know. Like the Black men I know is my daddy, my brothers. Period. Cause I don't talk to
Do
nobody.
you like them?
Nah, yeah. Right.
Okay. So,
No, I do.
Is your daddy your Wally?
Like, see, that's a hard thing because, like, technically, but at the same time, my daddy, he will green light every single person ever.
Oh,
If a man's interested, he green lights everybody. And then
so
the
you have to
second-
have like a secondary person to kind of help out.
my secondary person is my brother, and he said like straight out, I will not co-sign any man ever because he's seen too much, and he's seen like his sisters in bad situations. He's like he's never going to co-sign for any man again because they seem cool, they seem like they got together, and the mask comes off, and he's like he's not doing it again.
Y'all want to learn a tip? You want to vest, see what type of person he is in his community. Like a lot of times, like if he have test his community. Who do he follow? Like if he ain't got nobody that he a strong leader is a good follower. So if he don't got nobody that he respects, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard for him to respect like what's going on in the house. Like who did he not answer to? That's corny. Like, I don't answer nobody, but who did he like seek goodness see out from? Like who did he look up to? Who was his mentors? You know, and that like what type of like women how do the women like the aunties and stuff like how do they see him? That'd be an easy way to vet stuff. And I'm saying that from my own growth. You know what I'm saying? So, because I didn't used to listen to nobody, and then when I started listening to like aunties and listening to my mentors and stuff like that, they gave me a green light on the situation that I wanted, which was the pursuit of my wife. You know, so like we got to start trusting good people.
Yeah. I think we talked about that on the do's and don'ts of courtship. Is like really doing that investigation piece and really just listening to people that know them.
I'm getting a lot of game for the sisters, like brothers, like, don't you shut up. No, I got 3 daughters, sisters. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be going through it. So, and when you've been around and experienced a lot, and you probably made some bonehead decisions.
Right.
Sometimes you want an adult want things to get better than what it was.
Absolutely. SubhanAllah. Okay, so Khadija, what would be your advice that you would give sisters in your category, single moms, etc.? What would be some advice that you would give them as far as navigating this journey?
I wish I had some advice. I wish I'm struggling. Like I don't even know. And I guess my situation is a little bit different because like I have other responsibilities.
Right.
So if y'all can give me and my sister somebody, that'd be great.
How old is your sister?
How old is she?
Yeah.
37.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right.
Two for two deal.
So you're finding this part of your journey just difficult, challenging. You're finding it more challenging than beneficial.
No, this part of my journey, I'm still learning a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about not only what I want, but what I can have. Because another part that kind of like motivated me to marry who I married was I didn't think I could have any better. And a big part of me settled.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, here's somebody who's going to take it. So just learning that Allah is rich and powerful. He can provide me with anything, and I need to be more open to that and not just say, well, this is what I'm going to take because, you know, it's there.
Right. Man, that's powerful, Jermaine. That's a whole word, and I appreciate your honesty because many of us have been there. Many of us have
it's a common thing too, but that also has come from like, it comes from like, my wife said, no, you were like, it comes from not having that type of installment like from an early age, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see my daughters, you know what I'm saying, regardless of the situation, I see them, I tell them every day. The first thing I always tell, especially the ones older, is don't be no fool. That's number one. Number two, I love you. And number three is like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna tell you when the decisions that you make, that ain't gonna be on me, that's gonna be on you. But at the same time, you got to know who you are and believe that you are just as good as anybody that you think of, as long as you do what you're supposed to do. Now, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you're gonna keep on having that aura around you that is gonna be unattractive. It's only on attract certain stuff that you probably don't need in your life.
Yep.
I mean, how would you pay attention to that? You don't really, you in the midst of it. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. I mean, I think that, you know, young Muslim girls were raised a certain way. And, you know, I think some of us, we're getting a lesson now of what really has to be instilled. But I think young Muslim girls were raised a certain way. And I'm not speaking for everybody, but it was more about like, you know, kind of knowing your role, your gender role in submission and different things. And so sometimes the lessons about, you know, your worth and all that, you know, they weren't as amplified. And it, you know, that's really true. Anyway, okay, Khadijah, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for rocking with us on the Dope Muslim single experience. I deeply appreciate you, and I hope that, you know, we continue to see you throughout this journey.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun, and I learned a lot. And I'm loving this conversation because there's so many of us out here just struggling and lost. And like you said, not all of us have those kind of affirmations, like that life like breathed into us. You know, not everybody had that, and we have to, like, as adults, reaffirm our own selves because. Yeah,
that's true. That's a whole word. I appreciate you. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Khadijah.
Walaikum salam.
Hey, send Brother Yusuf out the link. I want to talk to him.
I know. I want Yusuf to come in. I mean, I told him to come in, but he didn't click the link. The link is right, real bold, on the Dope Muslim Woman podcast page. So he could come in. But otherwise, Jermaine, we are wrapping up. We are past our time. We will have more of these lives. Like I said, this is our teaser. This was our first one, just to kind of get a feel. You know, Brother Yusuf, I am going to leave it open a few minutes. If you did want to join, you can come on. We would love to talk to you. Because he was definitely shooting a shot all night.
He was up there. I like that. That's my type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, like just straightforward. Like, what's your number? Like,
that's right. Go get it, player. Go get it, big time.
Mashallah. Well, I appreciate. Thank you guys for the love. The audience interaction was on 100. We appreciate you. Thank you for everyone who was joining. I know there were some people that kind of joined in that didn't get to kind of come on screen. due to a variety of reasons. But I will say, like, just moving forward, we do need people that have audio and video. That is a condition for being on the live here, just so that everybody, can kind of get to, experience you. But we hope, inshallah, that we will continue this in the new year. So I still have a nice Google form going. And those names and information is really loading. It's really, every day I look at it, the numbers keep increasing. So continue to put your information there, and I'll be reaching out to you guys, especially those that are specific about wanting to be on the show for our future single lives. But Jermaine, I really appreciate you, brother. And I think somebody's really been asking, I don't know if you noticed, about you being there, Waleed. And I'm not even sure. I didn't take a long enough look to see if they were serious, but somebody was asked, are you people, but Shake Up the Cream say you can't just, are you people's Waleeds or what's up? Like,
I mean, I don't even know. I kind of retired. I think I'm from being a Waleed because nobody was trying to listen. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm definitely open to helping. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Your father should always be priority number one is the people that's related to you. But I'm always open to help. I'm a helper, man. I'm an answer. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't like your energy, then I'm gonna tell you I'm not hooking you up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's that on that. But yeah, make sure y'all check out the do's and don'ts of courting, so y'all can be very specific when it comes to that Waleed help. I think Brother Yusuf was trying to get on, but again, Brother Yusuf, maybe next time, inshallah, we are going to kind of finalize now. We're pretty much at 10 o'clock, so we definitely went over time. But thank you so much, Jermaine. I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, don't forget, I got to do my plug.
Please
don't forget, if you are in Detroit area, do you got that link up?
I don't, but if you say it, I'll type it in.
It was funny. It sounded fun.
Oh.
Funny at the time. I think that's what it's called. We bring it up to Detroit. So if you're out of the Metro Detroit area.
You cut off, Jermaine. So it sounded funny at the time is a show.
It's December 17th. You found it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're going to do, so it sounded funny at the time is a show that is launching this Saturday is with Preacher Moss, Lukey, the Jazz, but it's an amazing show that's happening in Detroit. The Dope Muslim Woman will be in the building, along with Jermaine will be your host. So make sure you come check us all out if you're in the Detroit area, or if not, I know people that are traveling to the show. And so it's in Detroit this Saturday. I have a public link on my page. Jermaine has it on his page. We'll plug it here. Okay, he's plugging it. So go ahead and check that out. All right, Jermaine, we're going to do a couple minutes. Brother Yusuf, we're going to give you a couple minutes. Brother Yusuf's here. I'm going to let you take it. I'm falling back. I'm backseat driver. Okay?
No, you're going to have to ask some questions too.
All right, I'm going to bring Brother Yusuf in about 5 minutes, Jermaine, inshallah.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
What's going on, brother?
Alhamdulillah. I'll be quick. I don't, hey, I'm not trying to take up all the time. But
no, you good. You good. How are you?
This evening. Alhamdulillah, and thank you for having this event. I mean, this is great. I really like the dialogue, the sisters who came on. And thanks for just having it.
Alhamdulillah.
But brother was saying like he really wanted to talk to me, so I'm here. So.
You know why? Because it was a common theme, right? When I was listening. One was comfortability from the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
2 was the time range between the divorces. You know what I'm saying? 3, children. Right? So you sent now as a man, like we have our own frequencies on certain things. Certain type of windows is kind of like we kind of pick and choose that window, especially with like newer kids. So from your situation, and I know somebody like they like the stereotype, like we scared of people with children, which is definitely not the case. I don't know one brother, I don't know none that was scared of sisters with kids. So maybe they was younger, but I know older dudes. But as a brother, right? And you kind of shot your shot a little bit, right? So,
I'm sorry, I'm sitting in the car. Hey, I'm sorry, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so as a brother, like, give us like what did you hear from like what was your ground around and off type of synopsis of the conversation that you heard?
In regards to
All
which
of them,
conversation?
all of them. Like, what did you hear that was common, and what was something that you see that you can work with, or something that's a red flag?
Well, I think that when I got in on the call, so far I caught 3 of the sisters, and I don't know. I think that they were all differences, especially age. So I don't know. Me personally, I was the one that was like throwing shots at Naima because the whole thing with the empty nester, because that's really what I'm on. Me, like you were talking about the whole thing. You don't know too many brothers who are afraid of kids. I'm 50. I'm not trying to be running after no kids at 50. I'm looking for an empty nester. I'm not going to even lie to you.
So you're an empty nester as well, though.
I don't have any children.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have any children, but I feel like at this age, me being 60 running after a 9-year-old is not appealing to me. So when I hear empty nester, I'm thinking, okay, well, I travel a lot. I mean, for those people who do know me or whatever, I mean, I'm from LA. I live in New York. My family from Houston. So I'm always around. So when I hear empty nester, then that kind of like jives more with my lifestyle. Because right now,
so is that the main criteria, though?
Right. So are you a brother that fit that stereotype of scared of
I mean, that's the main criteria, that she has to have an empty nest, or is it other things?
I don't think it's I think I'm not exactly sure which sister said it, but she had made mention in regards to intelligence, like I would expect that first, but me, I'm more of a, I don't know, I'm kind of like free spirity, you know what I mean? I'm not flighty, but you say you're not flight, so I'm not flighty. I'm not a flighty person, but I move around a lot, So if you have small children and I'm expected to be in one place all the time, then that might not work. I think that when you get older, you're settled in your life. And this is what I call just add Yusef, just like, you got certain pancake mix, you just add water. Certain situations, it's not a lot you got to add to it. You already got your thing going on. I got my thing going on. We share time.
So let me ask a question, brother, if that's okay. So you say you move around a lot, which is great. That's great. But do you see yourself as a brother who's like settled in a home with a sister and that, or you need to be fluid, like traveling a lot, or you need a sister on the go, or do you want a long distance situation?
Well, I think of it like
go
this.
with you, honestly, a teammate.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
One that's rolling with you.
Partner in life. Yeah. Well, I mean, but even with that, if like, let's say I meet a sister who has, let's say she got a multi-million-dollar company, I can't expect her to change her schedule in her life. You know what I mean? To be with me. We have to make some type of reservations to make it work. But I don't know. I just feel that at my age, you got your own schedule, and either I jive with it or I don't, going back to the whole thing with vibration. So that's pretty much it, and I'm all about questions, comments, and concerns first. I'm older now, so I'm not about lying to kick it. I'm not trying to hold nobody emotionally hostage. And and I get annoyed with myself sometimes. So I know I get annoyed with people quick. So I mean,
are you actively seeking a spouse?
Yeah, that's the question. Like what
I am.
What so have you been married before?
I mean, I'm passively seeking.
Have you been married before?
Yeah. Pardon me?
Have you been married before?
Yes, I have. I've been
Okay,
married twice.
Good, yeah.
I've been married twice. I will not be divorced 3 times.
Allah, please, man. May Allah protect that.
So,
inshallah, what have within this last situation, like what has been something that's really holding you back, or something that you see, even with some of the sisters that you have talked to, have you sensed a barrier, or have you sensed that the vibe just ain't been there?
Oh, it's a lot of things with me. I think that I just weird people out. Someone was talking about the whole thing with brothers and sisters not knowing how to communicate, things like that. I don't know. I think that I can give off an awkwardness, so there may be a loss in translation. And to tell you the truth, the ones I want don't want me, and the ones that want me I don't want. So
happens often.
That does happen. When you say awkwardness, what does that mean? When you say you give off a weird vibe, do you mean like?
No, when I say awkwardness, like the sister was talking about earlier, when Muslim men and women are not really around each other. I mean, you see it all the time when there's single events. There will be a single event that's for Muslim brothers and sisters, but all the brothers is over here, all the sisters is over here, because they're, I don't know. I mean, these cultural things that you were talking about earlier, where it's like we've forgotten how to interact with one another, So I don't know. And I guess that because of my age and usually around people that seem like they're either like really older or younger, I don't know. I just feel awkward. I feel out of place. So yeah.
SubhanAllah. Well, I hear you. I think that first of all, I appreciate your honesty and being very upfront. And I think speaking to that, because a lot of women do express that they experience, brothers, and there is an awkwardness, or there is, it's kind of, an odd vibe or whatever you may call it. So I appreciate you speaking to it, because we don't quite understand it, or I don't. But it's a good thing to kind of.
It's a couple things, First of all, it's like. It's like a reverse fetishization of women. You know what I mean? It's like this ultra reverence of Muslimas, number one. Number two, then you don't know which one is really married and which one ain't. Number three, it's like we're in a climate now to where, you could at first you could assalamu alaikum a woman, you know what I mean, or just say hi to a woman and it would be received. But now it's like, you have certain, you don't even know how to approach women. Like you could say hi to a woman and she'd just be mad at you just for acknowledging her. You know what I mean? It's like it's a different time, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like you walk up to a person and give them salams, and it's really a crapshoot on what you get back. So after a while, it's like, why try?
I think community can play a major part into that. I mean, when I say that, I'm not talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that face, but what's
this face?
That face, like a lot of people do not depend on the community. I know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we have a lot of unmasked. Number one,
and it's a lot of situations where and a lot of times because the lack of communication, how the deen is communicated to our people, it creates that unmasking, and it creates a situation where. We don't. That's what they teaching us is not how we are here. So that's a barrier too. So for sometimes we just got to really find a way to not let the house, the mosque is a house of prayer, right? And so use that for what it is. And a lot of times when you go using that mosque as a house of prayer, you praying for something to come to you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times from again. A lot of aunties be around, like aunties adopt good young men. Sometimes the aunties are some of the best vetting that you could ever have in your life, man. Like,
where are you? I'm
in Detroit. I'm in Detroit. A good older sister. I mean, you 50, so you a lot older.
Where are you? You said New York, right?
Right now I'm in Houston.
Okay.
Right now.
Houston got a popping community. I heard, man.
Sorry.
Houston got a popping community.
Are you
plugged in there? Like, are you going for the match?
First of all, I mean, let me just run myself down when it comes to Houston. I've been involved with the community in Houston since about 95. So when you talk about popping communities, you have different communities. You have Islamic Society of Greater Houston, which is considered a community. Then you also have Imam Wardi Muhammad's community. Right. They got Imam Wardi Muhammad Masjid. But then you also have Imam Qasim Khan that came from First Cleveland. and has a community not too far away from where I am right now, currently in 5th Ward, which is Masjid Al Tawheed. So you have different type of communities here. Sorry, I'm in the car. But so when you say that, right? But like the big dog here is ISGH, right?
Right.
And ISGH is primarily Arabs, Pakistani, you know, like that type of vibe. And I'm a brother, a member of the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood Incorporated in Harlem, New York. So my indoctrination is a little different, you know, from what's normal here. What I'm used to seeing is a little different.
Got it.
Yeah. So although traces of what I'm used to on the East Coast is here close, with Imam Qasim Khan, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, I'm around that community. But yeah, it's anyway.
Yeah, I know it can be a challenge.
Yes.
But okay, so brother Yusuf, really quickly. So you're looking softly looking, gently looking for a sister. What's the age range?
Why you say like it's clothing?
Trying to win. Don't
Donate
put them out there like
you know
they trying to win, Bria.
No, you said it wasn't.
Okay, my range is 35 to 55.
35 to 55. She has to be an empty nester. Okay.
I mean, well, she doesn't have to be necessarily an empty nester. I think that I would prefer an empty nester. I mean, I ain't gonna block no blessings, but I think that I would prefer an empty nester. Yes.
Okay, that's a preference. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mashallah. Are you open to any demographic, like any ethnicity?
I like black women. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I heard the person was like, "Oh, you were saying that. Oh, you should look out for the ladies."
I said
I need a sister. I'm sorry. We need to have the same cultural experience. I'm not trying to eat biryani and all that type of stuff. I mean, no diss to biryani, but
yes, bro.
All right. Well, all right, brothers. We're gonna get ready to wrap up. You know, sister Aisha said it seems like his range is someone who is already settled down in their lifestyle and know what they want. So that would be right. But I appreciate you, Brother Yusuf, for coming on. I really honestly
thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. I'm happy a brother got on here too, because man, you know what I'm saying? We need to hear, like, because it's really the narratives is really balanced. Like, it's not just one sided. Some people try to make it out to be like how real it is outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's blood sport. It's blood sport for real.
It's
real.
No biryani for Brother Yusuf.
No nah, not for me.
He wants a bean pie, maybe bean soup.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I mean, excuse me, I wasn't trying to knock other cultures. It's just that who was that was saying that earlier about you get introduced to another culture, then all of a sudden, kind of like you were saying that, you know, how we get, you know, we get a little bit of somebody else's culture, and all of a sudden, yeah, and I just didn't come from that. I wasn't introduced to Islam, you know, through that. So I'm just, that's all.
Alhamdulillah. They said you want some soul food. So mashallah.
Indeed.
May Allah bless you with that soul food, brother, and all that you seek. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much for rocking with the Dope Muslim Woman. We appreciate you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much for rocking out once more. That was dope. Mashallah. We had a lot of fun.
Yes, man, we sure did. And I appreciate you having me on here, and you know, to be on the lookout for all this stuff I got going on, and pray for me, and you know, keep me in good health, and as a good husband and father, and and 100 millionaire.
Ameen. Thank you so much, Jermaine. I appreciate you. Until next time, you guys, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.